Hello, my name is David Samuel, and I would like to talk to you about how to have relationships and life in general without ever getting upset, without ever getting angry. Maybe you get upset, but never getting angry, never having a fight, an argument. How to have a relationship that does not build piece by piece, argument after argument, event after event, that builds up to such a state of anger and resentment to which you eventually break up with your partner, divorce, or whatever it is. It is possible to have a life without that happening. And those relationships that we have, which are so good, but then you just can't take it anymore. You get all this anger and resentment and negativity builds up, and you want to break up, but yet you don't want to, because you can see your partner is such a wonderful person in so many ways, but it's just this pent-up anger, this built-up, this collection of negative memories, negative events that just burn away at you until you split up, or that they build up so that it becomes easier and easier to have other arguments. You know, your fuse gets shorter and shorter. The button gets easier to press. So there is a way, which I have lived and I have taught other people, to very simply never have arguments again. Never have these kind of fights that create all this negative emotion. But at the same time, it isn't a matter of containing your emotions. You actually get more passionate, more filled with love, more open, and it's not that you diminish the negative emotions and that closes all emotions. It's a pendulum swing. You go from that many, or let's say a balance scale, you have that many negative emotions and that many positive ones. As you decrease the negative, the positive increases. It's not that when one goes down, the other goes down as well. With what I'm going to tell you about today, you will reduce the negativity and vastly increase the positive emotions and feelings. That means your relationships, hopefully one more only, will be stronger, more passionate, more filled with love, and not break up, not end in disaster. Okay, so that's what it is. It's very simple, actually, but it takes the sacrifice of your ego. So we have a couple of factors that prevent us, which are fixed opinions and ego. Okay, so we have to get rid of those two. Now, when you get rid of those two, again, back to the balance scale, as you remove fixed opinions, your mind opens more. Fixed opinions are basically close your mind, but they close your ears and your eyes as well. So as you remove fixed opinions, your vision, your hearing, your understanding increases. Today's talk, really, we're focusing on relationships, but this applies to your work, to your business, to problem-solving skills, to creativity, and so on. That's another discussion, though. We'd apply it there later. Today, it's about relationships. Because, let's face it, you can have health and money, but not happiness if you're all alone. Being alone is the worst thing for us. We need love. We need a companion. We need a reason to live. And that comes through love and a good relationship. So, I believe that the best place to focus all our efforts for a happy life is a happy relationship. There's a saying, happy wife, happy life. Yeah. Well, we all have to be happy to have a happy life. And our methods do serve that. So, let me ask you a question to which we already know the answer, which is, if you understand somebody, can you argue? cannot argue if you understand. You only argue if you disagree and don't understand. Now, you can understand another person's point of view and disagree with their opinion, but you can't argue if you understand. Because arguments come from the basis that two people have a different point of view, right? I say it's black, you say it's white, turns out it's gray, but we both argue. But if you see it as black, and I understand why you see it as black, therefore I can see it as black as well, I can't argue with you because I see the same thing you see. I may think it is different and have my own opinion, but I can't argue. I can't be angry. Okay, so let me give you an example. A couple, mixed race couple. So he had a little foot bath. He did a lot of work. His feet were sore. His girlfriend prepares him a foot bath with, whatever, salts and things. Soaks his feet, very nice, and he's being a good boyfriend. He takes the bucket and he pours the water out to clean up from what she was kind enough to prepare for him, but he pours it in the kitchen sink. Now, in his culture, doesn't think anything about it because they don't care about what goes in the sink. But in her culture, they use the sink as a dish, as a bowl to wash the food and prepare the food. So this kitchen sink is to be kept clean like you would keep any dish. So she could get upset that he does such a stupid thing. But instead, she explained to him, I'm angry, I'm upset, that was wrong. Because we don't put dirty things in the sink in my culture. And he said, oh, well, now I understand, no problem. I'll never do that again. See? She understood that he didn't know how to use a sink. He understood that she does things differently. No argument. But I'm sure you can imagine what happens traditionally. He would do that. She would get angry. He gets angry because she is angry and he doesn't know why she's angry. And you have a fight. And all of these little fights add up and add up and add up until one day there's one fight that pushes the button on the nuclear bomb. Finished. Relationship is over. So what we're trying to do is avoid the nuclear war by avoiding minor skirmishes. Makes sense, right? Okay. So, when we understand, we will never argue. We can then discuss. Or, even better, if you have an open mind, you learn. You learn. Why does this person do it differently than I do it? Maybe that's a better way. But, as well, what if it's not as good a way? I disagree. I think my way is better. But now we can discuss because we're calm. We're not arguing. If I present my way, which is different than her way, and she doesn't want to understand or agree with my way, I can then understand why not. Well, she's in a habitual way of doing a certain thing, and she likes it that way. And this isn't a big deal after all, so what does it matter? I understand. She just wants to do it that way, regardless of my opinion. Okay? So, understanding another person means you will never argue with that person. So, I won't even call it exercise, but it is the way you need to focus and train your mind to instantly react at all times to when you feel the slightest anger or resentment from a disagreement starting. Your initial response has to be a habitual pattern of, I don't understand, before the anger gets you. Because What happens? Somebody says something, you get angry. Usually you give a sharp remark. And that sharp remark is a knife in their heart, to which then they get angry or hurt, to which then, of course, they take the knife out and stick it back in your heart. Here, you gave it to me in mine, I'll give it back to you in yours. Boom, big argument. But if you can restrain yourself and have the automatic reaction, which takes time to build this new habitual reaction, but just keep trying every time. I don't understand. I need to understand. And instead of a remark, a retort, I will give a question. I will say, why? Why do you want it that way? Why do you think this? Why is that way better? So this open-minded, sincerely open-minded attitude of questioning instead of thinking you are right. Remember in the beginning I said you must give up your fixed opinions. Because when I say one thing and you disagree, that's because you've got a fixed opinion that is different than mine. And you want to defend your point because your ego doesn't want to accept that it's wrong. So, when there is any disagreement, before there is any negative emotion, you submit to saying, I disagree because I have a fixed opinion and my ego doesn't want to be hurt because I'm scared of being rejected or whatever it is. But if I just ask a question, why do you think that? Why is that way right? Then there will be understanding and harmony. No arguments, no fight, no negative emotion, no eventual breakup. Okay, so this is quite simple, but it's really the solution to 98% of your arguments. As long as you're willing to submit your ego and give up fixed opinions so that you learn more things. All right, I welcome your questions. If you want anything to discuss, to ask, to clarify, and you can email them, and then we can make new videos answering them, or answer you directly, so that we can really progress with this most important thing and the ultimate goal: put divorce lawyers out of business. No more divorce lawyers. Let them all go bankrupt. No more business. Let's get rid of Tinder. Let's get rid of dating apps. Let's get rid of all that because we all find someone and keep a good relationship rather than having to keep changing all the time. Right? And so this is so important to get rid of all the arguments. Okay? So the website, relationshipcoachonline.com, and you can email david@relationshipcoachonline.com, and as well at ethicalism.org. And either site will be providing you with lots more information, and contact us at any time, and we will progress with more of these videos to help you have better relationships and less negativity in your life, and truly progress to finding a great contentment and inner peace. Thank you.